An Iranian allied group in Iraq has blamed the US for an airstrike that hit one of its bases early on Saturday morning. NATO's Secretary General pressed member states to give more Patriot missile systems to Ukraine during a video address in Brussels. The Venice Biennale's 60th exhibition opens with Russia absent and pro-Palestine protests. An Iranian allied group in Iraq said one of its bases was hit in an airstrike early on Saturday morning, injuring 3 of its members. The Popular Mobilization Forces' Kazlu base lies 50 kilometers south of the capital, Baghdad. It was not immediately clear who was responsible for the strike, but militia officials blamed US forces. The US military has denied launching any strikes in Iraq. In recent months, some of the PMF's member groups had launched attacks on US forces based in Iraq and Syria, which they said was in retaliation for Washington's support of Israel in the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. NATO's Secretary General has pressed member states to give more Patriot missile systems to Ukraine during a video address in Brussels. Jens Stoltenberg said that new announcements on air defense capabilities for Ukraine will come out soon.
We have to remember what this is. This is a war of aggression where Russia is attacking a neighbor, attacking Ukraine. Ukraine has the right to self-defense, and that includes also striking legitimate military targets outside Ukraine.
On Friday, Kyiv claimed it had shot down a supersonic Tu-22 M3 bomber more than 300 kilometers away from the front line. Russia, however, said the plane crashed due to a technical fault. Ukraine's military intelligence say the bombers use powerful Soviet-made ballistic missiles, but because they're not very accurate, they're more likely to kill or injure civilians.
Ukraine launched a barrage of drones across Russia overnight, according to Moscow's Ministry of Defense. The attacks appear to have targeted Russia's energy infrastructure. According to Moscow, 50 drones were shot down by their air defense systems over 8 Russian regions. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, civilians and even priests are helping produce weapons and other equipment for their army. About 100 drones that one priest and his volunteers have built have now been dispatched to the front line and are ready to launch. The Russian Defense Ministry released footage of what it said shows a surface-to-air missile reportedly hitting a Ukrainian drone in the Donetsk region. In the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv, severely damaged power plants could take years to repair, and at a cost of up to 24 million euros. Half the people living in the region are vulnerable to Russian strikes and power outages, according to officials.
Venice Biennale's 60th exhibition will gather together the work of more than 300 artists from 88 countries, including first-timers from Benin, East Timor, Ethiopia and Tanzania. The curator, Adriano Pedrosa, is the first to come from South America. Despite being one of the world's biggest art events, the Biennale is still affected by geopolitics and Russia won't have a pavilion. It's been banned again as it continues its war on Ukraine for a second year. Israel has a pavilion at the Biennale, but for now it is closed. Hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside it earlier this week, shouting Viva Palestina and handing out leaflets with the slogan, "No death in Venice" to people at the exhibition. A sign on the pavilion said it would not open until a ceasefire is reached and the remaining Israeli hostages in Gaza are freed. Tesla has recalled nearly 4,000 of its Cybertruck SUVs in the US due to a faulty accelerator pedal. It was discovered earlier this week that rubber padding around the pedal can come loose and potentially cause the vehicle to dangerously accelerate. Tesla says it will replace or repair the faulty vehicles for free, and owners will be notified through letters mailed to them in June. The recall prompted Tesla shares to fall 3% on Friday, which meant they dropped 14% over the week.